Hello, everyone. Welcome to Built to Be Heard. I created this series because over the years, I have met so many leaders that have such unique skills in one area or another. They are passionate about what they're doing. And I feel that it's important that your message is heard and that you are seen because you don't know who you can help if you are not easily accessible to people, right? Easily visible to people. Because the beautiful thing about our world and technology at this point in time is that we are able to work with people all over the world as long as we have a Wi-Fi connection, right? And I have coached people in over 44 countries. I've conducted over 5,900 coaching sessions. And if that's something that you want to do as far as connecting with other leaders, helping people, doing fractional sales, that's something that you absolutely can do with a Wi-Fi connection. And when I think back like 10 years, 15 years, from now, oh my gosh, how much we've advanced, right? So I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to the recording. This is something I feel very powerful about. Sometimes the Built to Be Heard series will have a guest, like we did earlier today. He was awesome, as always. He talks about leadership in cybersecurity and how these security threats are a business problem, they're a business risk. So, if you have a desire to learn more about that, please do look that episode up. I think you will learn a lot from Dominic Vogel. And always, of course, I would recommend that you follow him on LinkedIn and on socials because he will continue to teach you a lot about what your business should be looking into when it comes to cybersecurity and leadership. So, today's topic is also going to be about leadership. And I wanted to talk to you about the importance that your voice is really what is representing your leadership over your title. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this because obviously, as we work, whether we're in corporate or whether we're building our own business or whether we're building a side gig, it is our voice that can represent our leadership, what kind of leader we are, right? And much like public speaking, right? We are going to be able to make people feel a certain way. And I think that's super important because your leadership skills will allow you to convey your thoughts and really influence how someone can feel. You can make someone's day. And I feel that that is super powerful. And I absolutely believe that that's not something that we should take for granted. So, if you are working in corporate or you have a side gig or you're building your own business, I would encourage you to really go all in on your leadership skills and focus more on how you can be the best leader that you possibly can be over what your title is, right? Because in today's world, we can have multiple passionate causes, right? Like we may have a for profit business, and then we may also have a nonprofit business, or we may be volunteering for a nonprofit or working for a nonprofit. So your voice can really communicate clearly what kind of leader you are, and you will be able to convey to your people, to your audience, how it is you want to make them feel. Now, if you've done a lot of public speaking or you've read about public speaking, you know that if you show up and you see someone, whether it be online or in person, speaking, we may not remember everything they said in 30 days. We may not remember really anything that they said within 30 days. However, we will remember how they made us feel, right? And that's the same with your leadership skills. So, again, I would encourage you to go all in on your leadership skills to be the best leader you can be, regardless of what your title is, right? Because when you're speaking to people, it's not solely the title that's going to be representing you. It's what's coming out of your mouth, how you're conducting yourself, and your people, your audience will be able to determine what kind of leader you could be to them, what kind of leader you are in the world. Okay. So I encourage you to really lean into that and to focus and acknowledge that your voice is representing your leadership. And I think that's super, super exciting how you can influence how people feel. So your voice matters significantly because if you've heard me speak before, there are people out there that may be wanting your service, whatever your business does, right? Or maybe, like I said, if you're working with corporate, whatever it is you're doing, that's important. However, if they don't know about you, if they don't hear you, they don't see you, you can't help them. So that's how I encourage people to really get out there. If you're hesitating, if you're resisting, if you're saying, oh, I think, I'll wait till next quarter. This can also apply to nonprofits, right? If you're collecting or you're preparing for a special event, don't wait because your voice matters. And you just really don't know in today's world who's out there that could really benefit from that particular problem that your business solves or that you solve. Okay. So don't keep that to yourself. Make sure that in some way you are communicating what it is you want to help people with. And in today's world, because we have so much information, it is important that we do it on multiple channels. Like we could do, you could do live streams like I'm doing. You could do live streams or recorded events on platforms like Substack. Of course, you can go live on Facebook. You can do a private Zoom event, which is also super cool. So it's not like you're gonna show up or you're gonna make one post and that's gonna be it, right? It has to be a commitment. It has to be something that's on a schedule consistently. And until you get things going, I recommend that you are involved in what you're posting because your voice matters, like I said, and you want to make sure that your voice is truly conveying what you stand for and what you don't stand for, right? Because sometimes we do need to make polarizing statements so that people know what it is we don't stand for. That's super important. Because if we want to build an audience and we want to help the right people, then we need to make sure that we are speaking to the right people. So it's not about, I can help everyone. It is about who your ideal client is, your ideal customer, and speaking to them. And when you are thinking about what you're going to talk about, like I still use note cards from time to time. Lately, I've been just kind of writing out talk tracks and following that. But when you sit down, or maybe you're talking into your phone on, what you want to speak about, make sure you're thinking about one particular person, okay? Not like a whole audience, even though you may be speaking to many, right? Think about that one particular person. What are the most important things that that one particular person needs to hear from you today so that you can help them or so that they can get to know you? So the question that I'm going to be asking everyone, and if you ever come on Built to Be Heard, if you'd like to come on Built to Be Heard, I would encourage you DM me on one of the platforms that we're connected with or connected on, and I'd love to have you come on. I'd love to hear from you as far as if you had one message that you wanted all of your people to hear, right? All of the people in the world, because it's wonderful, in today's world, because we can connect with people all over the world. But the question is, if you had one message that you wanted everyone in your audience to hear, everyone in the world to hear, what is it that you would want to be heard? Okay. I would love to invite you to really think about that if you haven't thought about it before, and really lean into that and practice that and understand that it's going to evolve over time, right? So, your starting message, your one message that you want everyone to hear, will evolve over time. You may take out some words, you may put some more words in, but make sure you're ready for that. And that's not what we would call like an elevator pitch. Okay. This is one message that you would like your people to hear, right? Leaders in the world that you could serve, what would you like them to hear? Okay. So I'm going to leave you with that. That's the challenge. Please DM me if you'd like to get scheduled to come on Built to Be Heard. I'd love to have you. And just remember, that we want you to be heard and to be seen. And your people that you are seeking to serve cannot hear or see you if you're hiding behind the curtain. Okay. So stop hiding if you are, and just know that the world needs you and the world needs what you're doing. So get out there. Make sure that you find the platforms that you can be heard on, that you can be seen on, and understand, like I was saying, that it's not like we just show up one time and then everyone hears our message, even if it's recorded or even if it's on YouTube. We have to show up consistently. Okay. So even if it's just once a week, show up consistently so that the people that you're seeking to serve will get used to hearing you and seeing you and trusting you. All right. So thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate you spending a few moments with me. I hope that this energized you if you've been kind of holding back or resisting. And if you are an established business that has maybe relied up until now on referrals, understand that these social media platforms can help you build a sustainable pipeline. And that's one of the things that we do with our clients. So that's something that we can always talk about in the future. But again, I just wanted to say thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Take care.